guys, I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes Community News, where we take a deep dive into all the happenings of the week. But first, like always, go ahead and tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, so you can stay up to date with everything I do here on the channel. So, I know, I'm putting out another video within a week, and it's surprising, I know. But first, before we get into all of the stories, and there are a few to get into today, the first thing I want to do is apologize for that last video. And the reason being is I know the audio was completely screwed up, and that is my bad. I am sorry. I did not realize that a YouTube video was playing in the background on the tab because I really did not have my headphones plugged in. I did not see it on the OBS. I didn't see the background noise going, so I do apologize for that. I did try to run it through a few different filters to try and isolate the noise to kind of pull it out, but alas, I was not able to do that. And I did not want to re-record that whole thing because I just felt that you had some honest reactions from me when I was talking about the story, especially when I started cracking up about Heron Explorer, and I just don't think I'd be able to capture that again with a re-recording. So, as I can show you right now, we do not have any background noise. Of course, I have the, the audio track playing in the background lightly. I'm not sure if I'm using So We Go On or Below the Asteroids. I guess I'll find that out during the editing. But let's jump right into our first story. And yes, I am talking about Randall-Gate or Recess-Gate, however you want to splice it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, then obviously you have not been on the official Discord. And yes, this is stuff that's going on outside of the game, not currently in the game. We will be getting to in-game events, though. Now, this is a kind of evolving story from what we talked about last week. If you guys didn't watch the whole video because of the noise, and I do understand, I don't take it personally. Trust me, I know. We talked about Taylor Rick's legendary Photoshop skills and how the mods were angry that they were posted images. They were saying that it was from the Fulmination server when actually it was from the live server. Yes, there was one or two images floating around from the Fulmination server, but most all the information was available on live. And this kind of spiraled out to Heron Explorer basically getting muted for 7 days. But we're going to get there. I want to bring you back to the original, the first thing that happened was the message we got from the community manager about the whole Lancer debacle. Let me pull that screenshot up. This was the message, and yes, I touched on it in the last video, that the community manager Killa told us after the images of the Lancer got out was, "Hero, we noticed that there have been some ship images that are only available on the full server being circulated on the public channels. We sincerely appreciate your interest." I read through this whole thing before. As you can see, it's on the screen right here. Basically telling us, do not share images from things we find that are possibly in the future, things that are on the Fulmination server, but then again, the images that were found were on the live server, and they never tell us in advance what's coming, so how are we supposed to know that on the next update they were going to bring in Lancers? Obviously, an educated guess, but if we don't know, and we don't know what to talk, if you don't tell us not to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it, right? If we find something that's just in the game file, and there's no news on it, obviously we're going to cover it. But I digress. Let's bull right in. So this got into a whole debate, basically about the Photoshop fake images, and this is where Heron Explorer and Getafix, the moderator, actually started coming to a heated debate argument. And Heron was basically saying that all the ship images are available on the Aurora server and the Fulmination server. The Fulmination being the test server, and the test server is always a mirror of what's on the live server. The Aurora server never gets patched beforehand. There's never any information that's on the Fulmination server that is before the Aurora server. Just putting that out there. So, we are all basically saying, oh, then I guess we can't put anything on for it, so we can't do like we did with the Supers. When the Titans come out, we can't do a Titanic content creator clash. But I digress. So this is where Getafix and Heron start really coming at it. Let's see, Heron says, as per this conversation, the images are available on the live. Whoever gave you the information that it was exclusively from Fulmination is misrepresenting the incident. GetAfix goes on saying, they have all the facts. The NDA still remains. Spawned Lancers were fitted and leaked to the public. Please adhere to the admin's request. All relevant information was passed on. Nothing was omitted. And Heron says, I doubt it, and no one can still be obtained right now. Not patched, it's on the live server. Basically showing, hey, I can get all this information now if I just log into the game. This was before the patch dropped and before the Lancers actually went live in those, loot crates. So, GetAfix then puts his foot down saying, you cannot spawn a Lancer in the live game. So again, please stop this. Do as you are instructed. It is not a debate. And Heron took this personally. And it basically says, you do not instruct me. You are power tripping. And GetAfix says, I didn't instruct you. An admin did. And as Heron says, like, no, do as you're instructed is an instruction. Yes. So GetAfix, by enforcing what the admins were basically saying is, hey, please don't share this stuff. GetAfix kind of just put like a really nasty thing on it, just saying, do as you're told, fall in line, and that's what it is. We move forward to, there was another message that was deleted, right? And basically GetAfix was basically saying that Heron's input is not needed. So, as a joke, Heron turns around and says, there's a quote from 2024, your input isn't needed, from GetAfix. And then GetAfix says, if you continue to attack me, I will moderate accordingly. This incident and everything associated with it was investigated over the course of a few days. There is no need to make trouble for everyone, just follow the rules. Heron, pushing the envelope again, moderate accordingly. And this is where Maddie kicks in. And all of us were chiming in and saying, these are available on the live server. No one leaked the shit from the Fulmination server. We move forward again, and he's letting him know that, it's visible on live. I wonder what the moderator agreement there is. GetAfix says images of the fitted Lancers were posted leaked from the test server. You cannot spawn them. The NDA was broken. So again, yes, these were pertaining to two images that Taylor put out there. One of the module and one of the fitting of the ship itself. And yes, those were leaked images. But the images that we're pulling up with the resistances and the picture of the ship, those were from the live server. And Heron is basically arguing the point that the NDA wasn't broken, saying that this isn't a courtroom. Mario tries to get involved, trying to cool tempers down, saying that, he's just doing his job. Let's just talk to Killa if you disagree. And Heron's basically being Heron. And he says, Heron, you do not have to make this a big deal. It's not a fight. There is no need for this. And Mario's basically saying, hey, guys, why don't you just take it to DM? And it was thought that Heron coined the phrase Randall. But no, it was Rambo that did coin the phrase that GetAfix is Randall from Disney's Recess, an old cartoon from Saturday mornings. And Heron basically says, actual Randall, no, it's not. It's a CC issue. Doesn't matter anyway. This game will fold soon. And Heron says, thanks to the dweebs, blah, blah, blah. Moving forward, GetAfix goes in. You can still make content from the test server as long as the content is available to use in the live game. In other words, if the stuff is live active on the main server, we can then show things from the test server. We can't give you They don't want us to hype anything, right? Even if we were able to get information beforehand, they don't want us telling you guys. They want you guys to find out when it drops, and they don't want you... And I never understood this. Every other game out there has their content creators in some kind of program. With Marvel Strike Force, it's the Envoy program. There's a few other ones, but there's always some communication between a lot of the CCs and the developers or the community manager to get information out there to hype the community, because for mobile games, this is also going to generate sales for them and revenue. So I don't understand why they never wanted us to hype the game, especially since they won't actually fork up any advertisement for the game. So, going back into this, at this point, Heron was muted for 7 days. And then he came back, and we talked about this last week. He came back and basically said, "Hello, friends," and get a fix, and then posted a picture of Randall, and then immediately got hit with another 7 days of a mute. Well, this has now spiraled out of control. So I found out on the 11th, the day before the Super Bowl, that Heron got muted again. As soon as he comes off yet another, and I even said something in the CC channel that he got muted again. And here you see right here, when Jubilees asked me why was he getting banned so often, I turned around and said that he was mentioning the Randall Eve Echoes meme. Basically, because everyone just took this and ran with it, calling Get a Fix Randall. And at that time, when I sent this, they actually put it in the bot. Basically, it's blocked now. Any form of Randall, the word Randall, is now blocked on the official Discord. Now, what I did find out, and now, obviously, I was kind of out of it that Saturday night into Sunday. We had a Super Bowl party going on that day, and I was up for all day throughout work, so about 36 to 40 hours, because right home from work I decided to do some barbecue. Did an 18 to 19 hour pulled pork shoulder, and a 10 and a half, 11 hour brisket, which they came out perfect, by the way. And I basically stayed off of social media. I stayed out of Discord. I stayed, so I got all these messages about what's going on. So apparently, I'm going to bring this up here. Heron got banned from the official Discord. And we just bring these up on the browser so you guys can read it easily. Now here's the list from Dino what he was. He was originally muted for 7 days. Comes back on the 4th, was muted again for 7 days. On the 11th, he was muted for 14 days. And then right after that, he was banned from the official Discord. He basically reached out to let me know that he was banned for talking about the bans. Yes, multiple people came from the Gulag server and basically, in the Metal Raiders sense, did a Discord raid on the server, basically saying Randall, putting Randall gifs in there, Randall emotes, and a lot of mutes and a lot of bans were then issued. And Heron tells me that posting Randall, but it was initially started with Getafix going off on Rick about the NDA. I got banned for being toxic for comparing Getafix to Randall and saying words to the effect that the moderators are egotistical and power hungry, which is the first ban, or basically the first mute. Then I returned with hello friends and also get a thing. Got banned for talking about getting banned. Muted, not banned. Then I came back and got banned for posting Randall again. This was the 14-day mute. So, saying there's more to it than that is pure, vague bullshit, and trying to cover that the moderators are butthurt that someone is telling them what they are. And when asking the moderators what's going on with Heron, they basically say that there's more to it than that, but we do not discuss moderations with third parties. If you have any concerns, you can then open a ticket via the contact the moderator, just like everyone else. So, I did. I jumped in and I said, hey, just wanted to get some background information from the mod's take on the entire Recess Gate mass mutings and how it evolved from the Photoshop Lancer censorship story a week ago to now this. And now when I say mass mutings, I mean like 30, 40, 50, 60 people muted from the official Discord. They have shut off emotes from outside servers. They have banned the word Randall in any form. And actually, I also, after all this, I started a hashtag, right, on a few different Discord servers, and then brought it over to the official one saying, hashtag justice for Rambo and hashtag justice for Heron. both of those are also banned as well. My post was deleted, and then it was added to the word censor, so you can't even put those in anymore either. Anyway, so I get a word back from Jay saying, "Hey, Daemonxel, we have a set of rules that everyone has agreed to when they join the server. Also, due to NetEase policies and out of respect for our members' privacy, we cannot discuss moderations with a third party." And I said, even though now that the word Randall is now part of the banned word list, and that the entire situation is one of the mod's own creation. Basically, Getafix had his feelings hurt, so then he used his power to do this. And Jay says, admins has given us a set of rules to enforce, and the tools to enforce them. If any member has an issue with moderations of the system, they can escalate with the senior moderators. So now, enjoy with me some of the many postings from the Randall-Gate army. So obviously you've got Randall. Here's one right here from Ram. It says, "What happened to Heron?" And now I'm gonna bring these all up in the browser. This way we can look at them together. Oh, and as you can see here, these are the two hashtags that were added to the chat censor. So as you can see, this is where it started off with just a bunch of postings of Randall, some GIFs, stuff like that. And as you can see, a lot of people were then muted as soon as they put them in there. Yeah, it just keeps going on, and other people were doing it. Once they stopped doing this, a lot of people started changing their profile pictures to Randall. It's just some great trolling. It just really is. As you can see here, let's see. No one's really talking. Just a bunch of Randall pictures. Some more stuff. It says they can't delete your PFT. This is where they said, "Hey, we should change your profile picture to Randall." And as you can see, people started doing so. This person was great. Durgadur changed his name to, "Will the real Randall please stand up?" As you can see, it just keeps going on and on and on and on some more. As you can see here, we'll just go through them this way. So can I go through them this way? No. But as you can see, a lot of people just started changing their profile pics, and it's just the great Randalling of 2024 in the month of February. And so many people, again, muted, banned, and they're able to do this, right? The moderators were able to do this because the devs and the community manager are all on the Chinese New Year holiday until the 18th. They were taking 2 weeks away. So there's no one there to appeal to or anything else until the community manager gets back. So all these people are basically out, and it's just tons of fun. Again, I'm not going to show every single one of the screenshots. It's just way too many. Maybe I'll add them all into a Google folder on a drive, and I'll just open it up for you guys, and you guys can just peruse them at your leisure. But basically, all this happened, right? Heron got banned. Basically, he was banned from Eve Echoes under the abuse of privileges of rules and permissions. At the same time, this was all Heron. Rambo, a senior content creator, and there's only a few of us senior content creators, also got banned from the official Discord. And they cited saying that he was the one that initiated the raid, which he did not. So, I don't know what's going on. I even asked in that ticket, hey, now that, I can't believe that Heron is banned as well as Rambo. That's why the hashtag, Justice for Rambo was there as well. And as you can see here, they're basically saying they're not going to talk on it. They banned, waited a day. They did not want to talk about this at all. I'm basically saying, hey, I'm reporting on this whole thing. So if you guys want your story told, you need to talk to me. And basically saying that, if a senior moderator wants to talk to me, they'll add in this thread, which they did not. So at this time, yes, Rambo is still banned. And here's the one that Rambo got, that he was also banned. That he could submit an appeal in one day. Now, he did do a submission of the appeal, and it was summarily denied. And here is the appeal that Rambo made. Why did you get muted? Not exactly sure why I got a mute server ban, while the mute was definitely random, considering I didn't start anything, I didn't ping anybody, and was just trying to engage in conversation. So why do you believe that your appeal should be accepted? I didn't do it. And as one of your most consistent content creators, senior CC at that, I feel that treatment is beyond unnecessary. He says, is there anything else you would like us to know? He says, prove the accusations against me. They have no proof. They have no proof. And as you can see here, his appeal status was rejected. And again, this will probably all be sorted out when either Cartley or Killa come back on the 18th. But until then, Rambo is basically in limbo right now. So, obviously, this could also be true that Taylor Rick's Photoshop skills were so good that he tried to Photoshop Rambo completely out of the game and make a bid for power as the solo host of the Echoes of New Eden podcast. So let's talk about the other big story, and that was happened on the Super Bowl. That's right. Silent lost a super cap fleet. Yes, they were taken down by an opposing cap fleet from AOA. So, from what I gather, it was they popped out of a nihilist base. They killed a sub-cap fleet. Apparently, it was a bait fleet. And then the AOA supers dropped, and the fighting then ensued. It looked like it was a very good fight. Again, I unfortunately did not have the mental fortitude to get in game or be on social media at all. I just did not have any sleep. But yeah, so tons of ships were destroyed. Let's take a look here. As you can see, it was the Battle of V4 Tech L0X. This happened on Super Bowl Sunday into Monday. Well, actually, it happened on Super Bowl Sunday, but a lot of these pictures were submitted the next day. And as you can see, the biggest ship that was killed was, yes, our very own Nox from Trog, who did die in his Nyx. And yes, 2.1 trillion was killed. Now, there was 37 opposing cap and super cap fleet on the other side. And yeah, this kind of just spiraled out of here. The next big one was King Craft Honda with a 1.9 billion Nyx. But as you can see, just tons. Here's 3 Nyxes were four Nyxes were lost. A Wyvern, a Hell. There was a Siren Sea there. The Vac was there. A Villain. But I think, yeah, a Villain was there. So all these losses. Look, so much money lost in this fight. It was a massive loss. Now, they did take this on the chin, and yes, there were some great memes about this. But this is what we want, right? We want fights. We want big fights to happen in the game again. And I think this is very healthy for the game. And it ignited another fire under those who were previously of Red Sea, now in Trog, as they now want to go ahead and do more, getting back to their roots of big ships, big fights. Basically how Red Sea used to do the hot drops with the cap fleet. Sometimes you may win, sometimes you may lose, but you're gonna have fun either way. And speaking of this, there was an amicable split, actually, within the Trog Alliance. Yes, Trog has broken off to do its own thing, whereas ODCF, which was a lot of the industry side and PvE side of Trog Alliance, has actually entered into Silent proper and is now fully part of the Silent Federation, Silent Alliance. But this is what we want for the game, right? We want healthy losses. We want healthy fights. And yeah, it did not go Silent's way, but I'll tell you this, everyone had a hell of a good time. It was a Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. I think out of the memes, this one was actually my favorite because there was 2 Super Bowls, one winner and one loser. So yeah, Yeah, so congratulations to Void and AOA for that fight, for taking down that Cap fleet. Again, this is healthy for the game. Also, Space Karen reached out to me not too long ago to do basically an all-time kills versus losses by a corporation. And as you can see, X Corporation is still on top with a total of 11.8 trillion. CRB followed behind with 15. I'm not really sure what the yellow and green are. It looks like, okay, sorry. 75.7 trillion in kills, 11.8 trillion in losses, 53 trillion for CRB in kills, 15 trillion in losses, 38 trillion for Spot. I'm sorry, I need more coffee. Spy has 38 trillion in kills, 13.2 trillion in losses. ODSF has 31.4 trillion. That's Trog proper. 16 trillion in losses. NILF 22.3 trillion. But as you can see, this is all time. These are some of the all-time great corporations within all these alliances that have been doing spectacular since they've been recorded. And I think that's where we're going to end it this week. Now, be sure, if you need more news in your life, be sure to tune in to the Echoes of New Eden podcast, where we will be talking more in depth about Randall Ban and the mutes and the entire Recess Gate, as well as the losses that happened on last Sunday. Now, I do believe it's going to be EU time, so it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what that's going to relegate to whatever time zone you're in, but it's because we are going to have Heron Explorer on the podcast to talk about the thing from beginning to end, and since he is in the EU time zone, it'd be more friendly to him. So yes, if you can log in early to get in a spot on the Discord to listen in, to chime in. So yeah, until I talk to you guys again, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, here we're always one vision, one purpose, one friend.